We're live
with Gross Anatomy.
with Gross Anatomy.
And today I have Mariano with me again, which really excites me.
Likewise.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure.
He's my social media guy, and he's one of my co-hosts of Gross Anatomy.
And translator.
And he is a translator and a singer-songwriter.
And friend.
And friend. And there we go. Most importantly, a friend. And today I wanted to talk about, COVID times, everybody's in a mask. And I was thinking masking and entertainment and movies and TV. So I wanted to talk about masks and entertainment and movies and TV. And I don't mean like, is there ever like this TV show, the movie where the girl has cystic fibrosis called like 6 Feet Apart. You know that movie?
I do.
And they had to wear masks for their health and all that. I don't mean that. I mean, what movies are main characters masked?
Wow.
And,
I'm thinking Hannibal Lecter.
ooh, that's a good one.
That's
yes,
in
exactly.
Silence of the Lambs.
And that is a face like spooky, scary mask.
Yeah.
Good. I wasn't even going in that direction. I love that you came out with that one. That is an awesome one. And he's in that mask a decent amount. Yeah. Or at least in the beginning when you first meet him. But then he's talking to her without the mask. But that's a good one.
Yeah.
Any others?
Scream, but I guess.
Oh yeah. Then all the horror movies.
All the horror movies.
Yeah, totally. And the scary, like Jason, right, with the hockey mask, right?
Yeah.
Is that Jason? No, what movie's the hockey mask?
You're not talking about Freddy Krueger.
No, Freddy Krueger wasn't in a mask. Was he in a mask? I don't remember.
I guess.
No.
You know which one's really good too? The Leo DiCaprio one, where he plays.
Romeo and Juliet?
No, the man in the Iron Mask.
Yes. Oh, that's another one too.
Another
Was he the man in the Iron Mask? At the end, was it his character or was someone else? Or there were two of him or something?
There are two of them.
Right. There were twin brothers. Oh, I didn't even think of that one too. That's good.
I'm on fire today.
Yeah, you really are. I was thinking superheroes.
Oh, that's good.
That's what I was thinking.
That's really good.
And oftentimes the superheroes are just wearing like eye masks
Yeah.
or something like that. Like, who's your favorite masked superhero? Do you have a favorite masked superhero?
My favorite superhero is Spider-Man.
And he's in a mask.
Yeah.
He's in a whole
But
mask.
I loved
Is Doctor Strange in any kind of mask at all? No.
No.
Does he wear something on his eye? No.
No.
Yeah. So that was what I was kind of thinking, is superheroes who are masked. I was wondering.
So we've been wearing masks for a while.
Right.
At that point.
Exactly. And it's in movies a little bit, but it's not like part of everyday stuff. But then there's also like masquerades, like movies like Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah.
Wasn't there like a costume party that they show up to in the Romeo and Juliet with Leonardo DiCaprio, where they're just wearing like this kind of mask?
Yeah.
And I'm always wondering, every time I see people now, you walk by a million people and everybody's masked. We don't really know what they look like anymore.
Such a good point.
And I'm wondering, when people wear masks to like costume parties and things like that, they only wear eye masks or masks that hide their eyes. But I think it's really more the face that you don't know what people like. You could still kind of tell what they're looking like when it's this kind of mask. That was my thought,
And it's crazy how, because we always say the eyes say so much.
Right.
But it's crazy how much actually the bottom face says too, right?
Totally.
When you like reveal the bottom part of the face,
Yeah.
and you're like, whoa, this is actually who you are, kind of thing.
And I have a totally funny story. We were away, my youngest daughter and my wife and I, either last year or the year before, COVID, and we went to this, I think we were in Colorado, maybe even Aspen, and we did like a water rafting trip.
Okay.
And I remember my wife and daughter thinking that our guide, it was just the three of us, or maybe two other people were on our raft, whatever, and a guide, an expert rafting guide, and he was in a mask. And I remember my wife and daughter thinking, this guy's hot, like and he was a hot guy in his mask and everything. And then we all got together after, where we got to our destination and had lunch, and he took his mask off, and he wasn't hot.
No teeth.
Yeah, like his teeth were really weird, and he had weird facial hair, and they were so disappointed. I remember my wife and daughter, they're like, oh man.
Yeah.
But it's just such a funny thing.
It's come to change people's perceptions of people, right? In a way.
Yeah.
And I think we've talked about this, but the anonymity, is that how do you say it?
I don't know. I'm not even going to try because I'm sure I'm going to ruin it. The anonymous aspect of things?
The anonymous aspect of now wearing a mask.
Yeah.
And this sense of distance that it inherently creates with people, right? Or privacy, which some people I've heard like.
Right.
They feel more protected.
Kids do.
Yeah.
And I've told you that I do. I like singing in the OR. I feel very comfortable singing in the operating room if I'm in a mask. But I kind of feel vulnerable without that mask.
Yeah.
Which is really strange. And I think a lot of kids, I mean, one of my daughter's friends for a long time didn't want to, even when we were in a small group, didn't want to take her mask off. And I think there's just a certain level of comfort.
Yeah.
It's bizarre. The other thing I wanted to say...
You might be going away soon, correct?
I might be going away soon. Nobody knows.
Not as a vacation.
No, as a vacation.
As a vacation.
As a mystery vacation.
Wow.
Yeah, it's still up in the air. Nobody knows. We're not telling anybody.
Okay.
I don't know where we're going. The sirens in the background for added excitement. Yes, they're coming to get me, I think. No, but I had a thought about masks that now I totally don't remember. Thanks, Mariana. I appreciate that.
What's the Tom Cruise, Nicole Kidman movie with them?
Eyes Wide Shut.
Eyes Wide Shut.
Right, that's another one. Exactly.
It's another one.
Yeah, and we don't think about all those. Oh, I remember. There's that TV show now called Love is Blind that I haven't watched. Have you watched it?
I've seen it only because your daughter watched it.
Right. Leon loves that show. It's a reality show, Love is Blind. It's always about you guys. It's about me more, but it's about you guys too. Bernice, the Master Injector, Leon, Hannah, Izzy. It's always about all of you. It's always about you. And Mariano. It's about Mariano too.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yes. And his tattoo. And... yeah, so that's a whole... I wonder if part of why that show came out and people got excited about it was because of the whole COVID masking thing. Was that like part of the inspiration?
I guess. Do you think it's true? Do you think those people can stay together? Do you think love is blind?
Love is blind. Love is blind. It's like one of my favorite movies that I really hope you've seen now. It's I haven't talked about it in a long time, and my guess... I'm not even going to guess if you've seen it or not. Fiddler on the Roof. Have you seen it?
No, but I've seen the play.
Okay, good. So that's good enough. You've seen the play.
Yeah.
Fiddler on the Roof. There's that whole cute scene between Tevye and his wife. What's his wife? Golda. Tevye and Golda, because their children are breaking with traditions and are getting married without the approval and the matchmaker and everything. So the wife, the old lady wife, and the old husband. He decides to ask her if she loved, because it was an arranged marriage and they've been together and they have 5 daughters. I have 3 daughters. He has 5 daughters. And he decides to ask her if she loves him. And there's that whole cute song of "Do You Love Me?" Right. Do you remember that?
I do.
Yeah, and it's great. And yes, so I do think love can be blind.
Love can be blind.
I do think that. Not necessarily lust. Not necessarily sex,
right?
But love, I think.
The essence of love has nothing to do with sight.
Not at all.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Although sight is important, like you said.
Sight is very important.
Because attraction is important.
Yeah, but I think there's attraction without it too.
Yeah. Okay.
And there you go. Those are my thoughts.
I was gonna say something I forgot to.
See, you're worse than I am, and you're a lot younger than I am.
I'm a lot younger.
Mm-hmm.
It just speaks to generations getting worse, not better. Is that true?
Well, there's the whole attention span thing.
Yeah.
And
has it affected? Do you think you have worse attention span? I know we have a worse attention span than you guys.
Of people my age and of my generation. A lot of my partners think that I'm kind of very all over the place, ADD-ish.
Okay.
And I'm proud of that. No, but they do. I'm kind of always looking around, trying to do a zillion other things. Although I do want to try, and I'm going to do it with you right now, I do want to try to, when I talk to people, I do notice that I have a certain amount of power. And I hope I don't sound too douchey. I do feel like I have a certain amount of power
when you look at
when I really focus on someone and talk to them.
Okay.
I've noticed in my life that I could get a lot more out of people, but I sometimes feel a little uncomfortable when I'm like really intensely looking at them.
There's a very powerful exercise in acting.
Is there a powerful exercise in acting?
Where when you're doing a very important
Is it the Meisner technique?
It's not the Meisner technique.
Oh, okay.
But Meisner might do it too, I don't know. Mm-hmm. But when you have to do a very intimate scene with a person, you'll just first take a 5-minute break before you do the scene and just stare in each other's eyes.
Oh, wow.
Especially if you haven't worked with the person before. And the journey of staring into somebody's eyes for 5 minutes, you'll just put the alarm. No breaking. You know, you'll go through first. Naturally, people laugh and feel,
right,
and then you kind of get over the hump of that self-consciousness, and you really connect with the person, and it's like
I like that exercise.
It's really powerful.
Do you think now that we're masked, getting back to the whole masking thing, do you think people look at eyes more now, or just the same because we're in a mask? Like if I'm talking to you, we're both masked. Do you think there's any added focus of looking at the eyes, or not necessarily?
To be totally honest, I feel like we don't, as a society, look much into each other's eyes. In fact, when you bump into a person who actually looks at you, it kind of stands out to me a little bit.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, whoa, they're really looking, you know?
I do notice that there are certain people who, when they talk to you, really look at, when they talk to me, they really look at me. They'll even sometimes do this, and they'll say my name. They'll be like, Jason. I notice you do that a little sometimes too.
I do? Wow.
And I think it's a very good technique of conversation and listening to people. Like A, to really look at them, B, to occasionally make some contact, and repeat their name. Hey, Jason, let me tell you, Mariano.
Yeah.
I always think to myself, I should do that, and then I never remember to do that. But there's some doctors and just random people that do that to me that I think it's a cool technique. I really do. It's kind of like the Metric Monday that we talked about the power of observation. And it might be fake, it might be feigned, but it works in terms of the other person being spoken to.
Right. I didn't notice. Wow.
It could be a little creepy too.
Could be a little creepy.
But I also
can't do it
think
with everyone.
Yeah, I don't know. But I think it's a good technique.
I can't help but to feel an immense amount of gratitude for your volunteer student holding the phone.
Yes.
On the other side.
Benjamin.
It's not a tripod, guys. I know it looks insanely still, but Ben is just doing an amazing job.
He's there, and we asked Ben if he knew what famous movie the character Benjamin comes from, and he didn't. But I told him it's The Graduate. You've seen The Graduate?
Oh, I have a better Ben.
What?
Old Ben Kenobi.
Old Ben, Obi-Wan Kenobi. Ben, I haven't heard that name in a long time. That's a line from the Star Wars.
Yeah.
Ben Kenobi. That is.
And you had Luke too.
I had Luke.
Today.
Luke was our other student. We could have had a whole lightsaber fight today.
Today was Star Wars Day,
really
and we didn't even notice.
Day. And there you go. There's always a theme. And there you go. Should we wrap up?
I think we should. Yeah.
A quickie. Well, thanks everybody for joining us at Gross Anatomy. I hope you got something out of this. I know I enjoyed making the connection. Not a love connection, but a connection.
Yeah.
And there you go.
Thank you.
Thanks everybody.